I saw a Twitter thread that was arguing, it was trying to say that Britney Spears was racist, and I was like reading the tweets.
What?
Yeah, I was reading the tweets, and I was like, well, I don't think she's racist as much as she is an idiot. I was like,
yeah,
I'm
very curious what it is.
No, it was like I said, ignorant stuff she said in like 2002. And
okay, well, I mean, do you remember that one time? Why was she doing an interview with Matt Lauer? But she was like smacking gum, and I think it was during like something Bush did. I don't remember.
Where she was like, I think we should just trust the president.
Yeah, and it's like, why is she being interviewed about this? She probably was blindsided by this question. Do I really think she felt that? No, I think she just had no idea what to say. You know,
she just gave the pageant answer.
Gosh, yeah, it was awful.
Yeah,
I think she should never. Everyone should do what they want. I really don't want her on social media. It makes me so incredible when she does her little fashion shows. I'm like, okay, you look like you're having fun, but it's 2 seconds away from her putting something weird out. And
I think it's 2 seconds away from just her crying, and where I'm just sad for her.
Exactly. And I'm just like, oh, like, I know there's all that controversy about her conservatorship and her freedom and stuff. And like, who knows what's going on, but the social media, she is a celebrity. I don't need to know what she's doing. Like, I want her to live.
I could agree with that.
You don't want to see how the sausage is made?
Absolutely not. I want her to live her life, do her thing. I don't want to see it. I am following her though. So like, maybe I'm part of the problem.
Part of the problem and solution, Sade.
Yeah.
I think she's funny on Instagram, but
again, I love those fashion shows she does like sporadically in her weird Vegas mansion that she used to live in, or wherever she was staying. But yeah.
So anyways, that was a fun little Okay, this was the 9th episode of season 3 of Claws. I missed last week. You guys did an excellent job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot happened. I am happy and sad.
Same.
The episode was Melba Toast.
Which is a hilarious episode title.
Yeah.
I want that on the
really
record.
Is.
I really, really, really had thought that we had gotten to the place that I wanted to be, where I was like, let Melba out, like, into the night, and where she can rear her head again. And then, I mean, spoiler, cutting right to the end, but pour one out for Melba.
Yeah. Pour one all the way out for Melba, because I was like, no!
Yeah. The actress's name was Rebecca Kreskoff.
Yeah.
And Kristen, I remember you said that she reminds you of a person from Single Parents.
Yeah.
That is her.
That is her. I looked her up a couple times. I didn't know.
That's her?
It's Big Red? Okay. Okay.
What? Oh my gosh, that is like a transformation. I would have never known that. Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, it is her. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Good.
She's an amazing actress.
So amazing.
Yeah. I had no idea.
I'm really sad to the point where I was like, well, maybe she survived being hit by the car.
I doubt it.
Then I saw the body bag. I feel like, we were really kind of losing the show in the middle, and I feel very back in. And I remember saying something a couple episodes ago where I was like, I don't know if we need a bottle episode or something, but I was like, I feel like we need them all in a room together.
And we did get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also appreciate these last 2 or 3 episodes have been just hysterical. Just the one-liners and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
There was one that Polly had, and I need to apologize because I kept calling her Arlene last week. But
I didn't correct you.
She had one last night, and I literally cannot remember what it was, but she delivered it in such a way. She was like, maybe killing isn't always the right option. And she just was like very high pitched and Carrie Preston about it. Everything that she does is so great. Yeah,
she was amazing in this episode. I just really liked that. Well, I thought it was interesting that she had that moment when realizing, what is her boyfriend's name?
Joe.
Joe. When Joe may be married. And then she goes and she's like, do you think a guy who would be hired to kill people and then does that and does all these other things would actually lie about being married?
Just like, and
it's
like, Polly.
Yeah.
And I loved all her attempts at mediating the situation.
Yes.
When the girls were all fighting and stuff, she was kind
God.
of like, well, I mean, Desna, you know, and then her story about Shmezna, the lioness.
My favorite part in that was she's like, and there were sexy animals. There's a sexy zebra. And then we're like, what are you talking about? And then, oh gosh, Karuchi Chan. Now I'm forgetting
Virginia.
all the characters. Yeah, Virginia, sorry. When Virginia was like, well, I'm the sexy zebra. And they're like, no, like no one was understanding what she was trying to lay out. Oh, that was really funny.
She has such good intentions, but not the best follow through. I don't know. Her growth this season has been my favorite. And she kind of did what we anticipated last week, where she offered to be Desna's muscle, where she was like, I could do it. And if you smother them with a pillow, it goes real easy. Yeah.
That stuff with her and the governor last week, that like her and Joe killing the governor was insane. And
so good.
Like in a good way. And then following it up, because she had several line readings, because when she was talking about what Joe, like what he could and couldn't do to her. And she was like, if that just doesn't take the coffee cake.
Yeah.
That line killed me too. But yeah, so we did find out that Joe is working for Benedict, and Benedict is the professor?
Yes. Well,
yes.
Joe called him in.
Okay.
He's not technically working for him. He's not working for him, but I don't think he was working with him over Mac and Melba.
But he does refer to himself as the mole or a mole. Yeah,
he said he was an informant. Okay. Yeah. But
I'm not saying he was in the right. He just wasn't being 100% wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of plot this episode. It was mostly just like character, like getting information out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
And again, with the missing Melba, it was so funny. Her just, I guess she was pretending to be knocked out in the salon chair.
I think so.
And then finally somebody said something about like, ever since Mac killed Arlene, and Melba's just like, is that what she told you? And just her chiming in the little places left and right. I thought that was so funny. Okay, I feel like we're all on the same page, but I really liked the character of Toby, and I like him in concept, but I have no idea.
Me neither.
I don't think they have an idea what they're doing with Toby. Like, I mean,
I agree.
maybe now they're winding it down. So obviously at the end of the episode, he goes to the police.
Well,
and he snitches on Roller.
Yeah.
He also caused Uncle Daddy to murder a priest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so did he even go to that church to confess, or it was a misunderstanding, and he was meaning he was going to confess to the police?
I think he deliberately misled Uncle Daddy.
I just thought it was I didn't think he misled Uncle Daddy. I thought it was just bad writing. Like, I thought that we needed a plot contrivance, and that's what we did. But
I mean, I could go either with he was deliberately misleading him, or Uncle Daddy allowed himself to get misled and was he said he was going to confess. He's going to church.
When he said he was going to confess, my mind went to the police.
Police, yeah. I mean,
yeah, I thought that even though they added that little story about him confessing when he was younger, whatever, I never thought that. I thought, oh, he went to the police. But then Uncle Daddy was like, oh, we need to go to this church and find this and I was like, oh, okay.
Interesting.
And it seems like that wasn't really an element there.
Like I said, I've liked him historically, and I did see that he's a series regular now, and so I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, I always love when people get upgraded and stuff, but I just thought that they were going to have more to do, and where I wasn't super excited to go in like a Lady Macbeth direction with him, it felt like that's what we were going to do, and it felt like that would have been more material, like that would have justified the character's presence in a way that he's mostly doing what he's done before. He's just always there now. And
I agree with you. It's very weird. He's also not my favorite character. I liked smaller doses of him, and now it's like they're trying to force plot on him that doesn't fit quite right. Yeah.
I agree with that, because I think I always liked him, but he was in small amounts, and he wasn't really crucial to the plot of anything. He was just there, right?
Yeah, now he's extremely crucial, because not only is did he make Uncle Daddy choose him, but now he's like potentially ruining everything and maybe sending Roller to jail, which I'm not going to accept.
Again, I thought, because I saw the previews for this episode, like I think I was on Instagram, and there was like an image of basically all the women reacting to Melba getting hit by the car, but we didn't know that, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, if Roller dies, I was so angry. I was like, if Roller dies, I will be furious. And then like having Toby do this whole thing, I'm like still a little annoyed, but I just am happy that Roller didn't die. But yeah, it kind of looks like something's being set up for Roller, because he even references, I don't want to go back to jail. And it's like, okay, what's going to happen here? Toby, I feel like I wish they gave him more to do maybe in this season, because it's been like a lot of stuff or nothing in these episodes.
And they shot themselves in the foot with him shooting at Desna, because it's like,
we can't forgive that as an audience.
Well, and also it's like, if he had befriended, like if he became one of the girls, then that would have been great. I would have loved that. And
it did seem like it was going that way for a minute.
But with like putting that wall there, it's just sort of, he is just an extension of Uncle Daddy, and it's like, but not as whimsical. Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it is difficult anytime that your cast of characters gets too big, gets too sprawling. You know, Riverdale is like barreling in that direction.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
There's like 60 named characters that you have to keep track of.
Wow. Okay.
And when you have that many people on the call sheet that you have to like do service to, because it's like, God, I mean, do you remember, this is the weirdest possible reference I could make, but do you remember in like season 4 of Big Bang Theory where they like made Sarah Gilbert a cast member and then didn't know what to do with her? So she's in like 6 episodes.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't really watch Big Bang Theory like regularly, but there was a period of time where I was catching a lot of the episodes, and I did remember that. I was like, okay, so is she on the show now? Like, what's going on?
For one season, she was a series regular, and then they just didn't know what to do with her. So she,
that's bizarre.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Well, and I think that's the type of thing where, on the one hand, I like it because some of the characters are kind of getting a break, where, like, Jen hasn't had a ton to do this season, but I'm okay with it because other characters are getting stuff, but it's like, I don't want Jen to lose plot in the service of Toby, who I don't have any, like, real feelings towards anymore. And that's what started to irritate me, is, like, I feel like we've lost a couple of characters that we really did... I mean, not lost, but like we've lost time with a couple of characters, I guess, that were like our favorites in service of this thing that doesn't make sense and isn't interesting, and it's just really bizarre.
Jen's been a presence, and it's like she had a lot of material in season 1 and 2, so it's like I don't mind her.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mind switching it up and giving more people's focus in different seasons, but my complaint is that it feels like this season there's been a little less Jen, so there can be more Toby. And that's the problem.
Well, yeah, and even with Jen, like the whole EJ thing.
Yeah, where has that gone?
Is that
There's only
coming
one episode left
in the next episode? Like, what? It's again, like if I had to say like a criticism for this season, it really is just the pacing has felt so odd.
I agree.
That we had that weird middle where we were like, I guess we hate Claus now, and then obviously they brought us back. But like, you know, it just feels really weird. Like they're trying to do so much, and they really don't need to.
Well, also, like. It just wasn't, for me, it just wasn't funny. Like, it was weird, and then not even funny, where these last 2 episodes have been weird, but at least
also
I've been,
funny.
like, laughing.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like, I'll never underestimate what I'll tolerate if I am thinking it's funny. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, the thing that I thought was interesting in this episode was Quiet Anne, because I thought, I mean, when we were talking last week, I was like, how is she possibly even going to be in the same room as Desna? And it kind of seemed like she was upset. And then she thought, okay, it's Mac who killed.
And he's already dead.
Yeah. So maybe she was okay with that. And then obviously when Melba said, oh, is that what she's telling you? That's not how it happened. She kind of seemed like, how am I supposed to trust anything that comes out of your mouth?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, wow. But overall, it kind of ended with her being like, I don't know, and just leaving. So I am very curious what's going to happen next week with her character, because like I was saying last week, I don't know how she could possibly want to be with Desna and like help her any further.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're at a place where Desna was like, you forgive me, right? And she's like, I'm going to try, but it's going to take a while. And so, you know, we've said a time or two that we feel like we might be losing somebody. And it's not so much that I think or want it to be Quiet Anne. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if she left.
Oh, if she left, okay.
Even if just temporarily.
I was like, if this show kills the pregnant woman,
I know. I was like,
think,
what?
I don't think that's good. But if she just leaves, that's fine. I could agree with that.
We really only have 2 more things left, and they're not huge things. We just need to sort of address it. But we're done with Mahjong?
I guess.
Okay.
Dean lost.
And that's another thing, if I had to criticize this season. You made us sit through all those episodes for it just to end, like, with a whimper like that. Like, he doesn't win. There's no real reason why he didn't win, except there just happened to be someone better, right?
Well, and there's no reason why he needed to win either, because Mac and Melba are both dead and can't take the money from him.
Exactly. They died. So, I mean, I guess they died after the tournament, but still, or Melba did.
Melba did, yeah.
But yeah, that whole thing, I was just like, wow, I feel like they did not know what to do with Dean. And like in this episode, he does acknowledge again, I think he's referenced it a few times, like, you know, once you kill someone, that changes you. I'm still haunted by what I had to do and blah, 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 right? So it's like, oh, okay, that's an interesting thing. But man, the Mahjong thing, like, was too much. It was too long. And it's a little disappointing. I mean, granted, next week, maybe I'll be like, oh, now I get it, why we spent so long in there.
No,
but
I agree with you, though. There was way too much time.
It turns out there's like a secret agent Mahjong character, and Dean gets promoted to like...
The only way to defeat them is by playing Mahjong. Like, maybe that's going to come up, but I doubt it.
Yeah, you're right. There was way too much time spent on the Mahjong for it to come to absolutely nothing. But I could say the same about the EJ thing, too.
Well, EJ,
yeah, that's true.
If that doesn't fix itself next episode, that'll be in season 4.
Yeah,
the show got picked up, didn't it?
I don't think so, not yet.
Oh, it's been a pretty big hit, so I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I just assumed season 4 was happening, but I actually don't know.
I'm sure it is. Like I said, it's been a pretty big hit, so...
Yeah, we'll see.
And then the last thing was, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but just to go ahead and clarify, to say that they did find Clint's body. So,
oh yeah,
both Roller,
he got his car detailed.
Yeah,
no, they killed him together. They were both there, but I think Desna pulled the trigger.
Yeah, so that's probably gonna happen next week.
Yeah, I'm very curious how it's going to end this season. I don't want Roller in jail.
No, same.
I also don't want him dead.
Same.
So
he'll most likely go to jail, and I feel like next season we'll be getting him out of jail.
I'm obviously more fine with jail than having him die.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, this season has been mixed. I am very curious how they're going to end it. But yeah, I hope for whatever they try to do, it's a little bit more simple, because I feel like they just tried to do too many things at once in this season that they really didn't have to. And they could have like spread it out a bit more.
Even within the fight, when she was like, remember when we were a nail salon, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, I always love those sequences. Like, can you bring them back? Like, yeah.
I would have been fine with just the bigger, better nail salon, you know?
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, same.
100%.
Get Mandy back and just find a new.
Oh, Mandy.
So, okay. Well, I think that's good.
All right.
Yeah, not a ton happened. We're closing things up, and at least we're having fun while we're doing it. So,
correct.
Yeah.
That's where Claws is best. So.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.